சர்வ சித்தி விநாயகனே சரணம். Ladies and gentlemen, this is Atlanta Ganesh. I am a story writer, director, and producer. All my Tamil stories are translated in English by my very close friend, Mr. Ramamurthy, who lives in Atlanta. Please enjoy the stories. He is a very good storyteller. Thank you.
In part 1 of the story, we saw that the young granddaughter Aishwarya going out with John, an African American boy, for a picnic, and we saw that grandfather Ganesan was very much upset in sending her granddaughter, with John for overnight stay. But Rajamma, the grandmother, looked somewhat modern, and she tried to pacify her husband that there was nothing wrong. They are adults and they know their responsibilities. Why do you overreact? But Ganesan was not convinced. He fought with Rajamma vehemently and accusing her of giving undue liberty to her young granddaughter to the extent of allowing her to go out with her boyfriend. What will you say if her mother Vidya questions you for this? Rajma was stubborn that in modern world we have to see everything in proper perspective and not suspect everything with a narrow mind. She shouted back. Ganesh also argued forcefully. I don't want to remain a mute spectator of such unpalatable habit of staying out during the night under the pretext of modernity or broad-mindedness. I am not brought up in life like that. Oh, Rajama exploded. You mean to say that I was brought up in an uncivilized society? You better stop talking nonsense, she shouted. The heated exchange of verbal abuses went on unabated till such time their daughters and sons-in-law arrived in 2 cars with their children. It is the usual get-together in a weekend to enjoy the tasty dishes from Rajamma. All of them entered the house eagerly, asking Rajamma, Grandma, what is special item today in kitchen? In order not to spoil the jubilant mood in the house, Ganeshan and Rajamma pretended to remain calm. However, the daughters could read their somber, dull face and asked whether they had any quarrel between them. Ganeshan, not willing to reveal the reason for the fear that his daughter Vidya may become tense, just gestured to Rajamma to remain normal. Take it easy, Grandpa, Grandma, all the grandchildren shouted in chorus. All of them laughed when one of them started singing the film song, Take It Easy Policy. Momentarily, the old couple Ganesan and Rajamma forgot the severe incidents and tried to join the jubilant mood that was setting in the house. At that time, the telephone rang. One of the young lads who took the receiver turned bleak on hearing that the call was from police station. Immediately, one son-in-law took the phone to answer. Sir, is it the residence of Miss Aishwarya? Said the voice from the other side. Yes, it is. I'm her father. Tell me, what's it? Said the son in law with a sullen voice. Sir, we are speaking from police station. The car in which your daughter was traveling met with a severe accident. She sustained multiple injuries and hospitalized. He gave the address of the hospital and hung up the phone. The house, which was jubilant a minute back, became desolate all of a sudden. They immediately rushed to the hospital. The father, who was also a doctor, was admitted to the ICU where Aishwarya was undergoing the treatment. However, a surgery had to be done, requiring hospitalization for another 10-15 days. At that time, the family members of the African American started making big hue and cry outside. They shouted, "Your daughter is responsible for my son's death. I will not leave the matter. I will claim damage for the loss of life of my only son." Only then they came to know that John, with whom Aishwarya went out on picnic, died in the accident. Ganesan, who was worrying about the safety of his granddaughter when she went with John, now heaved a sigh of relief that nothing untoward happened as he feared, but still, under humanitarian consideration, felt sorry for the loss of life of John. After discharge from the hospital, Aishwarya was under the care of Rajamma and Ganesan, who took post-operative care. She became normal after 10 days. One day, she called grandfather Ganesan and asked if he could spare few minutes to listen to her. Ganesan readily agreed to hear her. Aishwarya asked Ganesan to come to the garden alone and asked him not to tell anything to anybody, including grandma. "It is only between you and me," she said. However, Rajamma overheard it and got confused. What was brewing between them so secretly? Why did she avoid me? Aishwarya and grandfather Ganesan went to the garden in the backyard where she opened the topic. "Grandpa, do you know that John, with whom I went out the other day, is no more?" Ganesan said, yes, dear. I know. I feel sorry about his death, about his fate. He is your close friend, you told me. Mm. Aishwarya said, "Do you know how he died?" "I killed him." "No," Ganesan intervened hurriedly. "Don't say like that. You didn't kill him. It was just an accident. That's all. Don't feel guilty." "No, Grandpa, no. Please let me complete. On the fateful day, when we were traveling alone in the car, he tried to misbehave with me, Grandpa. Normally, he is a decent boy, but should have been under the influence of liquor or some stuff. He advanced to me menacingly. I appealed to him repeatedly to behave properly. But at one stage, when he tried to molest, I had to safeguard my chastity and turn the steering wheel, and the car swerved off the road and hit the parapet wall. Luckily, I survived, but he succumbed to the injury. Even though I did so to save myself from his bad intention, I am not able to overcome the feeling of guilt. I was responsible for his death, isn't it?" Grandfather Ganesan whispered in her ear, "Don't keep telling that you killed him. He tried to misbehave with you and you tried to escape. It was not your intention to kill him. Better erase these incidents from your memory and behave normally." "Okay, Grandpa, you know one thing? I have recorded everything in CCTV camera. I switched on the camera inside the car. The moment he started to misbehave with me, as a precautionary measure, Grandpa was stunned. What you have recorded your everything in a CCTV? What a wonderful thing you have done, We know, we have a proof now. The African American family cannot claim any damage. They only will be in trouble if they do so. Very good, very good. You have acted wisely with presence of mind. You have proved that you are my granddaughter. Yes, yes, you are very clever, came another voice from behind. Yes, it was Rajamma who was watching and hearing it, the entire proceedings right from the beginning. Ganesan advised her granddaughter, Aishwarya, take this as a lesson and always cast a suspicious eye on gents. Grandpa, then what are you? He asked Aishwarya jokingly. I was a real man till I got married, replied Ganesan. Everybody laughed, including Rajamma, and eased the tension there. Grandpa, I want to take a break and visit my auntie in India so that I can get better. Both Rajamma and Ganesan fondly patted on her head in approval of her decision. That is the end of this episode. Bye bye.
Writer's note from Atlanta, Ganesh. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you all enjoyed the story. Please give us your feedback. See you next week. Thank you. Bye.